Revelation 2350. From the 28th of May 1942. Wrong thinking. Working of the opposite pole of God. And this is significant because only the course through earthly life can cancel the separation from God, and only the time of embodiment as a human being can earn the conscious union with God. And precisely for this reason it is also significant which things the human being's thought turns to during earthly time and which forces are granted access. Thought transmission is the weapon with which the spiritual wages battle. Light and darkness seek to transfer strength to people in the same way, precisely in the form of thoughts, and both powers are successful depending on the human being's will, his nature and his attitude towards God. Every God-affirming person will shape his nature such that he strives to be good, and thus his will is turned towards the good, the divine, and the consequence of this is receptivity for spiritual emanation of strength which the good, that is lightful beings want to impart to people. The transmission of thoughts by the beings of light can therefore take place without resistance, without obstacle. The human being's thinking moves in truth and need never ever be doubted. However, the same receptiveness is also inherent in people who, due to their distance from God, turn towards God's opposite pole. They can just as easily accept the emanations of evil spiritual forces because they open themselves to them through their desire for worldly things, which are part of that from which the human being should turn away. Such people will always live a life of unkindness and their hearts will willingly accept the currents which drive them to increased unkindness. And thus such people's thoughts will not bring them closer to God but increase their distance from Him. Then darkness will triumph over light. The beings of darkness are supported by the human being's will itself, no obstacles are placed in the way of their expression of strength. And thus they can also become effective, which is expressed in people's completely wrong thinking and thus in humanity's spiritual low, which can only be remedied again through external influence, that is through severe suffering and affliction, through which people are forced to take a mental stand, and this can still result in a change of their thinking. For the human being cannot be guided into right thinking against his will. His will is decisive. And the events which come upon him and which, no matter how painful they are, can still have a beneficial effect on the human being's soul, are also in accordance with his will. Amen.